All right. So coming on to it was really fun. The challenge course at Trilogy is pretty awesome. It's my first time doing it, and I really loved it. That course, it was my first time. It was really fun. Okay, so I like to. This is how I even sleep at night too. I have a pillow that specifically kind of helps the neck with this, but so I like to put a pillow underneath the back of my head, but allow my shoulders to still come down onto the earth. So this is a nice way to support the neck and allow some traction to it. So even like at night, or just if you notice that your shoulders are on your pillow, it's not quite the best situation for you. So just allow for the shoulders to come to a lower position than the head. And then you can stretch the legs out, or you can bring the soles of the feet together, or maybe the knees together. Just see what feels good to you this morning. And then just begin to notice how your body arrives on your mat this morning. Just notice anything going on with the body, any tension or anything at all. That being said, you can kind of look for the opposite as well. Any just sense of opening, any just sense of excitement or nervousness, just anything. Just notice where the body and where the mind are this morning. And deepen the breath. See if we can deepen it and lengthen that breath. See if you can really lengthen your exhalations. So pull a little bit more air in. And then really, really slowly let it go. Nice full breath in. Into the belly. Feel the chest rise and lips remain sealed, and just let that breath go through the nose. Just really slowly let it go. Begin to create that ocean-like sound with the breath. One more time, just right here. Just let the body, everything melt into the mat a little deeper. And if you notice just something that brings peace to the mind, whatever that is, just peace and joy to the heart and the mind. Just envision whatever that is and just breathe it into the body. Breathe it into the mind and then just soften, just let go. To feel some movement into the fingers and the toes. Send the breath there and just envision that breath going into those spaces and moving the ankles and the wrists. And make a couple of fists if that feels good. When you're ready, just take a nice big full body stretch. Feel a little yawn. Oh, and just kind of bring those hands down by the sides of the body. And we'll really try to repeat that neck one, Martine. We'll get that one back going. We'll just do kind of almost a repeat of that today, and then that way we'll have a recording of that one hopefully. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to move that pillow actually out from underneath my neck, and I'm going to bring the soles of the feet on the earth. And just I'm going to begin by just a little gentle sway back and forth with the knees. A little back and forth. And then I'm going to pause with the knees and just a nice little gentle back and forth with the neck. So kind of gaze back and forth, side by side. Make sure it feels okay with your rotation. Just go where it feels okay. And then just a little gentle pull in with the knees towards the chest. Just give yourself a nice big hug. Nice big hug. Mm-hmm. And go ahead and open the arms out to a T. Let the knees fall to the right. Now you can use that cushion if you want to. I like to bring it in between my knees. Sometimes it feels really nice to have a supported twist. I love this pose, bringing the pillow in between the knees. It feels so nice. And then I'm going to take that gaze again and just kind of go back and forth with it, back and forth with the neck. Just feel maybe a sweet spot that feels good, and you can pause there if that feels good, or just kind of keep it moving. And then just allow for the gaze to settle off over to the left. Just find this nice twist. Take a couple of breaths right here. Maybe roll the wrists a little bit. Make a couple of fists. And inhale, we'll bring the knees back up through center. Back up through center. Just take a moment, kind of lengthen out through the spine. Make sure that spine is straightened, and reset through the hips. I'm going to bring the knees back in and just gently allow the knees to fall over towards the left. Open up the arms out to a T. Take that gaze back and forth again. Slowly back and forth. And then eventually just allow the gaze to settle off over to the right. You can move through the fingers and the fists again if that feels good, or you can just keep the hands still. And just breathe. Envision that breath coming all the way in, down the spine. And as you exhale, just envision it wringing out what we no longer need. Just let that right shoulder get nice and heavy. And then inhale, breathe it up through center. Let's take that bolster, if you have one, between the knees and just release it. And walk the feet out towards the edges of the mat. Just let the feet come in towards one another. Just kind of release the low back here. Palms just on the belly or the heart. Just close the eyes. And one more time, just breathe in whatever that word or phrase is that brings peace to the mind. And walk the feet in. I'm going to pull the feet in one more time. And then reach them up and take a happy baby pose. Take a happy baby pose, maybe rock it out a little bit. Let the shoulders get nice and heavy. Whoa. Maybe stretch one out at a time. Get a little hamstring stretch going in there. And then just when you're ready, reach those feet up towards the sky. Just take a couple of moments. You can roll a few circles with the feet. Spread the toes out a little bit. Shake it out with the ankles. And then your choice, either roll over to the side body or rock back and forth. Do a little rock and roll kind of situation and rock up to a seated position, your choice. So I'm going to, again, bring that pillow underneath my bum, sit up a little bit. Your choice. You can sit just on the earth or you can use a pillow. Totally up to you. I just like that pillow. It allows for the knees to come down towards the earth a little bit more, and it just feels good. So once you've arrived in this position, let's actually start with the shoulders this morning. Just reach those shoulders up towards the ears and back. Round up towards the ears and back. Change direction. So reach them back. Oh, nice big circles. Nice big circles. Just go ahead and drop the shoulders down. Let's just reach up, or just out, I should say, with the right hand. Just gaze to the right hand. Really feel that shoulder blade opening up behind us. So just reach out right in front of us. Nice. And then we're going to watch it. Let's reach it up towards the sky. Reach it back behind us. And keep it behind us. Let's take the gaze forward and out over towards the left. Should feel a nice stretch through the neck, through the shoulder there. Nice big stretch. And then just bring the hand back down onto the thigh. And let's roll the shoulders a couple of times. I'll loosen that out. Same thing. Let's do the opposite side. So lift out with the left. Just gaze out towards that hand. Kind of open up the shoulder blades. Reach it up towards the sky. Follow the gaze. As long as it feels okay on the neck. And then behind us. Gaze back towards it, and then take the gaze out over towards the right. And then gently just kind of windmill it down and bring it back. Shoulders once again. Just roll those shoulders out. Roll it out. Nice, you guys. Let's lift up both hands this time. Both hands towards the sky. Just gaze up towards them. Take a twist over to the right. Hi, Macy. Take a nice twist over towards the right. Roll that right shoulder up and back. Take the gaze back to center in front of us, then unwind through the body. Just plant that left hand and reach up with the right. Nice big side body stretch. Lengthen from the hips. So kind of push that hip into the earth actually, and really get some nice length through that right hand side of the body. I'm going to windmill the hand kind of down. So I'm going to reach that right hand almost down towards the earth, and then just really feel a nice opening through the shoulder blade. There we go. Nice, you guys. Lift up with the hands again. Big breath. Let's take it over to the left side. Left gecko fingers into the earth. Roll that left shoulder up and back. Gaze behind us. Go ahead, bring the gaze back forward to begin with. And then follow with the chest and the belly. Plant the right hand, reach up with the left. Just push that left hip into the earth. Really feel a nice opening through the left-hand side. And go ahead and bring it on down. Let's do those shoulders again. And revisit the shoulders a little bit. Just a couple times forward, a couple times back. And let's go ahead and just drop that right ear over towards the right-hand side of the body. The right shoulder, I should say. And just gently roll the neck forward. Real slow. Over towards the left. Same thing, just real slow. over towards the right just a couple times. Maybe if you find just a nice little sweet spot that it really feels good just to pause and get a little additional stretch, go ahead and just stay there. Otherwise, just find some real nice, slow little half movements. And then nice all the way around with it, all the way around. As long as that feels okay. Maybe change directions. So the tech neck, as they like to call it, is definitely a real thing. And a lot of times these days we are looking at that iPhone or Galaxy or whatever your choice is. But if you're a right-handed person, a lot of times we're just sitting, staring, using this hand, and we end up keeping that neck in one position for a long time. So just really be mindful of that. Because that, I think, contributes to a lot of these neck issues. At least for me, I know it does. And then go ahead and just bring that head back up. And I'm going to take the left arm and I'm going to reach it out, just kind of interlace it with my right. I'm going to pull both hands over, nice. And then kind of pull back with that left shoulder and then take the gaze out over the left shoulder. Kind of getting both those shoulders and the neck involved here. And then go ahead and let's take it over to the opposite side. So I'm going to bring the right hand, interlace it on top of the left if you can, and just kind of bring it on top of there. And then take that gaze out over towards the right. And go ahead and release it one more time. Move those shoulders a little bit. Let's go ahead and drop the right ear one more time over towards the right shoulder. A couple little nods. Really lengthen. Roll, gently roll all the way over. All the way over towards the left side. Couple little nods if it feels okay. Little yeses. Then one nice big roll all the way around. All the way around. Change direction all the way. Nice, you guys. And let's go ahead and make our way onto the hands and knees. Make our way onto the hands and knees. Kind of shake it out a little bit. Let's move through some cat and cows. So lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, breathe it in. Exhale, round it out. Couple more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more time. Big lift. Exhale, round. And then just pause with a neutral spine. I'm going to tuck the toes, lift up with my knees, make my way into downward facing dog. You can always stay in table if that feels better this morning. But just either walk your table out by stepping one foot back at a time or walk your dog out by just bending one knee at a time. Really lengthen through those hamstrings a little bit. And maybe even widen the hands this morning and just really shake the neck out. Just zero gravity into the neck here. Really allow it to lengthen. Take the gaze from one side to the other. And then go ahead and just bring the knees back down onto the earth. I'm going to open up the knees nice and wide and sink back into a child's pose. I'll allow my belly to come right down onto the earth. Just bring the forehead down onto the earth. Really just let go. And with the hands, you can either walk the hands forward if that feels good, and then just kind of bring the elbows onto the earth. Or your other option is bringing the hands back behind you. And the palms facing up. Just take a couple of breaths wherever you're at. Just feel the shoulders get nice and heavy, shoulder blades kind of parting away from the spine. And then go ahead and bring the hands back down onto the earth. And let's move our way back up into table pose. So a face forward here. And I'm going to step out with the right leg to begin with. So stepping out with the right leg, I'm just going to bring my elbows down onto the earth as long as that feels okay. Really get a nice stretch in that inner leg here through the psoas. Just breathe it in. Then I'm going to walk the hands up. I'm going to roll it all the way up, lift up. I'm going to lift the left hand into gate pose. Lengthen through that left hand side of the body. And then I'm going to bring the right hand down, or excuse me, the left hand down, but the right hand is going to come up. And just see if you can look up towards that right hand. This actually gives kind of a nice little additional stretch. Look up towards it, and then just look back down at the earth. Lengthen even more. And then roll it all the way down. Kind of windmill that hand on down. And then I'm going to bring the leg back in. Just a cycle of cat-cow. Lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Round it out. Neutral spine. Step out with the left leg. Step it out. Step it out. Elbows gently can come down onto the earth as long as that feels okay. Long as that feels okay. And then begin to walk it back up. Roll it back up. Roll all the way up. Nice. And we're going to gently, slowly lift this time with the right hand. Really nice. Big stretch along that right hand side. And windmill all the way. Oops, let's see, windmill. What we're doing? We're bringing it down. I guess we're bringing it down. We windmill the opposite one. So lift, gaze up towards the hand. Gaze up towards the hand. And then reach it even further, reach it even further. I'm going to gaze down towards the earth here. Here comes the windmill. Bring it on down. And just sweep it across the floor. And back into that table pose, cat-cow. Very nice, you guys. And then once again, I'm going to make my way into downward facing dog. Shake it out a little bit. Shake it out. And then just gently tiptoe your way all the way to the front of the mat. Just come into a forward fold, a little bend into the knees, maybe grasp opposite elbows. Just lengthen through that spine, really just let the head go. You can keep a bend in the knees here if you'd like to. Totally up to you. Totally, totally up to you. And then a nice bend and push into those feet. Lift all the way up, lift all the way up, gaze up to the palms. And go ahead and bring it back down. I was just going to show you guys something really quick that you can always do a supported downward facing dog. So if you have a couch or beneath a chair, it works really good. You can actually hold on to an edge on something, just like so. You don't necessarily have to do this right now, but just something throughout your day if it feels good to you. And this is a really awesome way of trying downward facing dog. And you can do it at different heights too. You can do it against a wall or a table. It's a really awesome way to get just a little additional feel going with it. So just a thought. Highly recommend it. Anyway, if you're driving, you can always take a break, get out, roll down your car window, do that. Sure, it's a normal area, I suppose. Yeah. So anyway, okay, let's go ahead and just do a couple of sun salutations. So lift the palms, lift the gaze, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Palms to the shins, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Little bend into the knees, push into those feet, flat back, rise all the way up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time, exactly like that. Breathe in, lift the hands, exhale, forward fold. Palms up to the shins, let's lengthen. Exhale, fold it out. Little bend in the knees, flat back, rise all the way up, breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, let's add on a little bit. So lift those palms, lift the gaze, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Palms onto the shins, lengthen. Bring the palms onto the earth. I'm going to bend the knees and step back 1 foot at a time. You can come into a plank if you'd like to, or you can bring the knees onto the ground. Either way, I'm going to slowly bring the belly all the way down. So belly is on the earth. And then I'm going to walk the hands apart a little bit. I'm going to push those little tips of the fingers into the earth. Lift up with the heart. Let's go ahead and move through serpent pose. This is just such a fun one to let go of any tension that you might have going on in the neck and shoulders. Just one at a time. Dip those shoulders. Dip it out. And then just go ahead and just gently bring the body down. I'm gonna roll the shoulders back, place the hands out in front of me, elbows just a little bit in front of the shoulders. And if you need to, no, Macy, I'm sorry. You can open up the feet a little bit. If it's tight on the low back, just be mindful of that and open up the feet if it does feel not right on the low back. Just roll those shoulders back. And then I'm going to drop my neck down, just lengthen through the back of the neck here for a moment. Kind of tuck the chin in. And roll it up. Gaze out over towards the right. Nice little stretch there. Take it back through center. Gaze out over towards the left. Back through center and back down to the earth. And just bring the hands underneath me. Push up through table. Push up through table. Tuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Shake the hips a little bit. Let's lift up with the right leg to begin with. So right leg is going to lift. Just going to let it lift as high as it wants. You can roll the ankle a few times if that feels good. And then square it off. And let's go ahead and bring it forward. Bring it all the way forward. So right leg forward, left leg back. I'm going to flip my mat, get a little cushion for that left knee, untuck the left toe, square off with the hips. Nice low lunge here. Woo. You can reach the hands up if that feels good, or keep them down, your choice. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lift up with that right toe. Lengthen. Get a nice stretch through the hamstring. And then go ahead and just sink back down. I'm going to tuck my left toe, lift up with the left knee, step forward just a little bit, begin to straighten through this right foot. And I'm going to bring the left hand up. So feel free to use a block here if you'd like to. It's a great place to use one, or you can use the support of the shin. But I feel like triangle for the neck, for me at least, and the shoulder is just a glorious feeling. So you can either keep the gaze down towards the foot if you'd like to, or take the gaze up towards the hand. Either way, just almost feel like you're between two panes of glass. Just see if you can really make that hip stack on top of one another. Really lift. If you can't, lift up the hand a little bit more where the support is. And then go ahead, bring that left hand down. Bring it on down. I'm going to bend through the right knee and bring the hands back down onto the earth and step back into a downward facing dog. Just kind of shake it out a little bit. Shake out your dog. You can come onto the knees if that feels better. And let's lift with the left leg. Lift with the left leg, step it on forward. I'm going to flip the mat so that I have a nice cushion underneath the right knee. Sink forward. Sink forward so the knee and ankle are directly in line with one another. Woo! Use some belly strength, lift up. Lift up. You can keep the hands just right here on the thigh. You can lift them up to the sky, your choice. Your choice. Go ahead and bring the hands on down. Just lengthen through the back of that left leg. Really get some nice length. Breathe into it. Exhale, maybe even fold. Go ahead. Sink back down. Tuck through the right toes, lift up that right knee. Step forward just a little bit. Begin to straighten through the left knee. Find the spot that the hand wants to be at so that the hip stacks. So if you're down here and you feel that hip collapsing, maybe bring the hand up just a little bit or use a block. Either way, just lift up with that right hand. You can bring the gaze up towards the right hand, or you can keep it down, your choice. Go ahead, bring the gaze down. I'm going to bring the hand down and just let the knee bend. Come down with the hands. Step back into downward facing dog. Shake it out a little bit. Shake it out. Come down onto the knees for a moment. Maybe a cycle of cat-cow. Lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Breathe it in. Exhale, round. I'm going to sink all the way back into child's pose. All the way back into child's pose. Let's just take 3 big cycles of breath here. Just slow it all down. So from here, you have the choice of either going back into downward facing dog and making your way into pigeon pose, or you can take the pigeon pose from the back body by crossing that foot over the thigh and reaching through and grasping on. So your choice. So either from downward dog, right leg lifts, bringing it up towards the right wrist, squaring off the hips, nice and square. I like to scooch back a little bit with the leg and hip to keep them square, and then when you're ready, maybe come all the way down. So that is one option. That's one option. Or again, your other option, if you're not feeling the pigeon that direction, is crossing that right foot over the top of the left thigh, flexing into that right foot, and reaching through and grasping onto the back of the left thigh. Your choice, wherever it feels nice this morning. Just enjoy that pose. And then let's go ahead. If you're in that regular pigeon, just begin to tuck that left toe, lift up with the left knee, send that right foot back, maybe stack the hip, make some movements, bring it on down, and let's immediately go over to the left side. And if you're on the reclined position, same thing, just switch sides. So bring that knee up, scooch back through that right foot, really get nice and open, squared off hips. Let it go. Let it all go. Couple breaths, just any area of tension, just send that breath there. Just release it. Go ahead and tuck through that left toe, or excuse me, the right toe. If you're in the regular pigeon, lift up with the right knee. Send that left foot back and up, just kind of shake it out a little bit. And if you're in the reclined position, just go ahead and release that. And let's go ahead. Let's actually all just come to a seated position for just a moment. Just a moment. And let's just one more time and revisit those shoulders a little bit. Just roll the shoulders out. Just roll out through the shoulders. Let's begin. Let's open up the arms, just like so. And then reach them out. And I'm going to reach them through. And I'm actually just going to pull that left shoulder this way. Excuse me, the right shoulder. Then reach it up. And pull back to that elbow. And then switching sides, just open up the arms. Pull, nice full. Open up the shoulder blades. Reach it up. Give a nice gentle tug. And let's go ahead, pull the shoulder blades in one more time. Just let the hands come down. Nice, Peter. Like those eagle arms there. Yeah, feel free to take it even deeper if that does feel good, pulling it into the eagle arms, really opening up the shoulders. Definitely an option if you want to go a little deeper. Roll those shoulder blades a few times. Maybe roll out the neck a little bit. Nice work, everyone. Nice Nice work today. And then let's go ahead when you're ready. Take your time. We'll make our way into our final posture, our Savasana. Ah, our Savasana. Just let those feet. Oh, sorry, Macy. Just let the feet just release out in front of you. Let the head come down. Feel free to use that bolster again if you'd like to. Mine is in use over here. Just close the eyes. Let the breath return back to a normal breath. Just let yourself completely be. Tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. The eyes soften. Just absorb the benefits of our practice this morning. Stay here for several minutes if you can. Feel free to put a blanket on if you're chilled. And I will leave you in Shavasana this morning. Just stay right where you're at. And I am so grateful for everybody to spend their morning with me. And I'll keep you guys posted if I will be here on Friday. I should be, but possibly not. So anyway, have a wonderful week. And as always, wonderful to see you. Bless you. Namaste.
Thank you, Summer. Wonderful class.
Oh, thank you. So wonderful to see you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Take care. Enjoy.